So this video is actually have two parts. So this video particularly will talk about the metric conversion to the same unit, but is the King Henry part. This is day one, and then day two we will go to directly how to do the math. Okay, so this is just like for this video, just like day one, which is the King Henry thing. Okay, so for the same unit, you don't need to use metric chart to do the math. To find the relationship, you gotta use instead to use the King Henry to set the relationship. So when you in the other video, when you do different unit, let's say from kilogram to pound, you will find your relationship in the metric chart very easy. But for same unit, let's say from kilometer to meter, they both have the same unit meter, we would not be able to find the relationship in the metric chart because the metric chart I gave is for different unit. This is for same unit from kilometer to meter. So we will using the King Henry to find the relationship. Okay, so the King Henry basically is the I will have the symbol from kilo. Okay, so these are the symbol I'm talking about. So the symbol will be KHDAB DCM. So the symbol stand for K is stand for kilo. Okay, stand for kilo. H stand for hecto. Deca stand for DECA, Deca, DA. And base is actually, we don't have any prefix on. I just use the symbol for B, but actually there will be no prefix for base. We just don't put anything. For example, what I mean by base is like meter. Meter is the unit, but the prefix, I don't have any prefix. I don't have anything before, right? But here is the prefix for the kilometer. The prefix is the K, kilo, but the unit is also meter. So in this case, for km, my unit for both km and the meter is meter, m, but the prefix, this case is the K. Here on the meter, on the 1000 meter, I have no prefix because it is a base. So I see that I don't put anything in front of the meter because it is a base. So, and then D stand for deci, C stand for centi, and then M stand for milli. So each of them will have the factor represent kilo is 1000, and then like base is 1, and milli is 0.001, for example. And in order for you to remember this prefix in the right order, I use this slogan. I say King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So originally will be died. All right, will be King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. If you think about the grammar, but why will I use that? It's because I have DE, DE, DA, they match with the decker. If I use die, I'm afraid that you're thinking about DIE, we're thinking about deci by accident. So I changed the word from die to that. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So if you remember this, you can write down the symbol KHDAB, and M. Okay. And if I go to the next slide, so I'm going to show you how to find out the relationship if you're using same unit. For example, meter to meter, okay, or gram to gram with the different prefix. So here I'm showing you how to do that is you recognize, first of all, it's the same unit. How do the same unit? Because let's say meter and centimeter, I have both meter. I have both meter. So they're both M. The unit is M. Okay, but the prefix is different. The meter one has no prefix, right? There's no word in front of the meter, so I know it's a base. But for centi, I know that there is a prefix, and the prefix is centi. So that's why I write CM. Centi stands for C. Okay, so you first want to write down King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. You write down from the top to the bottom. So I write down King Henry died, which is DA, by, I usually use a B, capital B. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. I write down the prefix first. Right? From Kenya with that chocolate milk. All right. And then next is you always circle the prefix with the unit that you want. For example, the meter here, I know there's no prefix, so I know it's a base. All right, it's a base. So I circle the base. And then I'm going to write the unit next to it. The unit is M. All right. And then here, the prefix is centi, is C. So I circle the C. And then my unit is M, so I put M. So you want to see that, you see that the BM here is actually matching with the M. I know that is the base with the prefix, no prefix. And the CM here on the question is the same thing as the one that I circle here, is CM. Next step is you want to put the one, always the one on the top. Okay, so one is always on top. One is always on top. 0 is always on bottom. Always. 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 Okay? Always. 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 This is always. 1 never will be on the bottom. 0 never be on the top. It's 1 always on the top. 0 is on the bottom. So I'm going to put the 1 on the top. The prefix, the one that I circle, Ignore the other one that I did not circle. My eyes will be just on the one that I circle. 1 on the top, 0 on the bottom. Then I draw the arrow pointing to that. What does it mean? It means that the 1 is always belong to the top unit. 1 always belong to the top unit. 1 is always belong to the top unit. And 0 is always belong to the bottom unit. Okay, so I can write on here 1 always goes to top unit. 1 always goes to the top unit, and 0 always goes to bottom unit. Okay, always. Then now I have 1 prefix in the middle. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fill out 0. So that will be 1, 0, 0. Next, okay, you always read from top to bottom. What does it mean by read from the top to the bottom? So I'm going to read always from the top here. I'm going to put an equal sign. I'm going to draw the arrow down. All right, I'm going to put the equal sign and I'm going to put the arrow down. So I always read them from the bottom, from the top to bottom. So how I'm going to read it, I'm going to read 1M. 1M. I start from the top, right? I start from the top will be 1M. Now, why do I don't put the B? Because the B is no prefix. We don't write 1BM. We write 1M. 1M. Okay, and then equals. And then I'm going to read from the top to the bottom, right? So 100. 100. Why is 100? Because I get 100. So you read 1BM first, which is 1M, equals 100. 100. And then finally, you go back to the left-hand side again, grab the unit. You cannot just write 1M equals 100. You have to write 100 what? Oh, 100 cm. That is the relationship. That's what I want. And you always remember 1 always on the left. Okay, 1 is always on the left. And like 0 always on the right. So in order for you to say, hey, what's the relationship between meter and centimeter? That's the relationship. 1 meter equals 100 centimeter. That's the relationship. Okay, so again, 1 is always on the top, 0 is always on the bottom. When you read it, you always start from the top to the bottom. So 1m equals 100 centimeter m. You cannot just write 1 equals 100. You always need to have unit. And my unit, we just write down for the beginning. We say that the unit for meter is m, the unit for centimeter is cm. These two units must be include, right? These two units must be in the relationship. Okay, let me go to the next one. So let me try another one. I want to find the relationship between milliliter and kiloliter. So we first need to identify the same unit. How do I know same unit? Because I both have liter. I underline them. And the unit for liter, if you look up the metric chart, you can know that the unit for the liter is L. All right. And then do I have any prefix? I do have prefix. The prefix for this one on the left hand side is milli. And if you look up the King Henry thing, I know milli is M. So it will be ml. And for the kiloliter, I do have also prefix. The prefix is kilo. So then we be KL. So I know that this is the same unit, right? So you know what? Let me go back to the previous one. I want you to underline, like I want you to circle the prefix, and always underline the unit. Okay, circle the prefix, underline unit. I'm going to do the same thing here. I circle my unit, which is L, and I always circle my prefix, which is M and the K. So circle the prefix, underline the unit. So maybe I should go back down to right. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Write another color. Okay. So I'm gonna write is underline unit. I underline the unit. Okay. And then circle prefix. Okay, so I circle my prefix. But I underline my unit, okay? So I circle any prefix and underline unit. I'm going to do the same thing here, okay? I circle my prefix. And I underline my unit, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use back to the, let's say I'm going to use a red pen, okay? I'm going to write my King Henry thing. So I'm going to write King Henry dad, right? Not died, dad, by drinking chocolate milk. All right. And then next, I'm going to use my green pen to show you a little bit better because I want to follow the color. I do have prefix for ml. My prefix is m, right? So I circle the m, right? And I circle the K, green pen. I circle both the prefix. I have them. And then I'm going to change my pen to be red again. So I do need to include my unit. I have to include my unit. For M will be ML. I underline it. Okay, so these two must be the same. You cannot just write down M without the unit. I always need to have unit. So you cannot just write M. M doesn't mean anything. Merely what? Milligram, milliliter, millisecond, mini days. What are you talking about? You have to give me the unit. So it will be ml. So these two must be the same. And also kl. Okay, so this must be present. You cannot just circle the k and m. You can't. Okay, you cannot do anything. And then the next thing is I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use a blue pen, for example. I'm going to start to write again. 1 is always on the top, right? Which one I should choose? I should choose the one that I circle. Ignore the other one I did not circle. So I'm going to put 1 always on the top and 0 always on the bottom. And then I draw the arrow pointing to it, meaning that the 1 is always go to the top unit and the 0 is always go to the bottom unit. What about the other one? I'm going to put 0, 1, 0 per each prefix. So that means I should have totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0 because I have 5 0 in between. I have 5 prefix in between. Okay, then now I'm going to draw going to write down like a green pen thing. Okay, I'm going to draw the equal sign on the top. I'm going to draw the arrow down, and then meaning that I'm going to read from the top and then equals and then go all the way down to the bottom. So how I'm going to write it is I'm going to start with my top first. So my top 1 belongs to KL. Again, 1 always go to the top prefix. 1 always go to the top unit. So I'm going to write down 1 KL, and then I have equal sign, equals. Okay, I have equal sign, and then I have 1 and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I have 6 0. So 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I have 6 0. And then finally my 0 go to 1, ML. Okay, so this is the right answer. If you forgot to write down the unit, you write down 1K equals 1000 M. This is wrong. This is wrong, because you need to include the unit. If you just give me the prefix without a unit, that's just wrong. You have to include a unit. Okay, so then my worksheet for today is I want you to set up the relationship between 2 units that they are the same unit, but they have different prefixes. So this is what I want you guys to do.